Hey guys, it is Mike. This is like my 15th time to try to make this video because people and animals will not leave me alone today. Um, so I am going to do part 6 of my Children of the Corn franchise review. The movie that I will be talking about today is Children of the Corn 666, Isaac's Return. An interesting little flick. It's directed by Carrie Scoglin, who has a pretty decent career as a director. She's done quite a few things, including recent things like the Walking Dead series. She's done a few of those, and Fear the Walking Dead, and some other stuff. She's got something coming out 2020. May have already came out, I don't know. This movie was released in 1999, and of course, like everything after Part 2, it went direct to video. And it stars a couple people, big names, at least recognizable names. Maybe not big names in 1999, but it had Nancy Allen in it. She plays Rachel. Of course, Nancy Allen is known for Carrie. She was the mean girl in Carrie. Chris, and then she was also in RoboCop and Blowout. I love that movie. Quite a few pretty good movies. So it's kind of sad to see her in a straight to video, but who knows? Everybody's career peaks and valleys. So, and also Stacy Keach, who was pretty big off and on. He plays Doc Michaels in this movie. The rest of the people, really not too well known. Of course, Isaac comes back. That's John Franklin after 19 years. We have Natalie Ramsey, who plays our lead girl, Hannah. Pretty little girl. And then our lead child of the corn, if you will, is Paul Popowich, and he plays Gabriel. Now, this movie has a little bit of a different feel than some of the others because there's not like a gang of kids that are like all possessed by a leader and following whatever the leader says. This one is more kind of, I don't know, what's the word I want? It's not really magical. I don't know what the word is that I'm going for here, but basically most of the killing is done by a certain few of the children of the corn, and it's not really geared so much towards adults like the other ones. And really there are no interlopers or whatever they're called. So what we have is we have Hannah, who has turned 19. And she decides, she's heard the stories about where she's from and all the terrible things that happen there. So she decides that she's going to go check it out, much to the dismay of her adopted mother. But she wants to find out who her real mom is, and she wants to find out what the story is and why she just wants to know. So she heads on to Gatlin in her little car, and of course, mayhem starts as soon as she gets close, because all of a sudden there's this crazy pastor who is broken down. His car's broke down on the side of the road, and she offers to give him a ride, and he gets all weird and preachy and telling her kind of about her, and then the next thing you know, he disappears. So that's that kind of I don't know, what is the word, guys? Just kind of magical. And then she meets some of the people from first one she meets is the female sheriff. Cora, I think is what her name is in the movie. So she's in there a little bit, and then we meet the final boy, the main child of the corn, I guess I should say, his Gabriel, and he kind of wins her over and tries to help her figure out what is going on. And the whole time he's doing that, he's really just prepping her because he knows what has to happen by a certain time. So in the meantime, we have Isaac, who's been in a coma ever since the first movie because he who walks behind the rose didn't kill him. He just knocked him out. So he was in a coma for 19 years. He comes back. Unfortunately, he's not the same kind of freakish little kid, as he was in that first one. That first one, he was annoying as hell, and just creepy. Um, Now, of course, he's 19 years older, and yeah, he kind of lost it, but I still enjoyed his performance. Then, what happens is Hannah's trying to figure out what happened. Rachel and Doc Michaels is trying to keep her from figuring out what happened. Um, and then you have Gabriel and Cora and a couple others, Matt, who find out basically that they are Ivan's child or Isaac's child, and that Matt has to basically impregnate Hannah before midnight. But it turns out that's Newton, by the way. Turns out that Matt is not Isaac's first child. Gabriel is, and it kind of ticks Gabriel off a little bit that Isaac put Matt before him. So there's this whole craziness where basically they kill off Doc Michaels. Then Matt is made to kill his girlfriend, and he doesn't take that very well. So Gabriel kind of controls his mind and makes Matt kill himself. Then we have the big showdown at, of course, a barn where Isaac and Gabriel square off. That doesn't end well for Isaac, unfortunately. So, yeah, he may have returned, but he left again. And then we have the final battle between Rachel and Hannah and Gabriel. And then we see all the kind of powers that Gabriel has. So, yeah, overall, it was an okay movie. It was not as intense as some of the others. The setting was not as interesting to me as some of the other settings. So basically, when I look at this movie and I look at the acting, it's okay. Of course, Nancy Allen was good and Stacy Keach was good. And I thought the guy who played Gabriel, the Paul Popovich, I thought he was pretty good. He was adequately charming and evil when it came time for him to be both. So yeah, I enjoyed him. I thought our lead girl was fine. Fine. I mean, she wasn't spectacular. She wasn't awful. She just kind of fell right there in the middle. Isaac, of course. John Franklin was good, and then some of the other characters in the movie were pretty good. I didn't have a problem with it. I really liked the girlfriend of Matt. I can't think of her name right off the top of my head, but Sydney, I think, is what her name was in the movie. I liked her. She was kind of bitchy and smart at the same time. I liked her. So yeah, overall the acting pretty good. Now, as far as the setting, like I said, it wasn't as creepy as some of the other ones. There were a couple field scenes, of course, but other than that, it was pretty much just houses or like a clinic or nothing too exciting. As far as the number of deaths, we had 8 total. Most of them were blandish. The girlfriend's death was really graphically gross, and the doctor's death was, it was bad. It wasn't like super gross, but yeah, And there is this one character I forgot. I think, what is his name in the movie? Oh, I can't remember. He's kind of a loony in the movie. Um, and he basically just walks around muttering and harassing Anna um, about how there's false prophets and to beware of the false prophets. And that guy's name was Jake. I kind of liked him, and I hated that he got killed off, even though you don't really see his death. He ends up getting killed when Gabriel is going all crazy. So deaths were okay. Not the goriest, other than Sydney's, but they were okay. So acting, I would give a B. Deaths, probably a C plus. Nothing too crazy or extravagant or shocking. As far as the location, I'll give that one a C plus as well. As far as like drawing me in, the believability of any of this, I kind of understand the story that this girl wants to know about what happened in her past and who her mom is. So that part I bought into. And of course, it's a horror movie, so yeah, I kind of bought into the special powers and the whatever that Gabriel had. But yeah, overall, yeah, I mean, it's as far as horror stories go, it's pretty believable. So I'll give that a B. And whether or not I'll ever watch this one again, probably. It's an easy movie to watch. I will say that I wasn't bored and it went really fast. I mean, it's only 82 minutes long, so. But yeah, not too bad. So as far as Children of the Corn 666, Isaac's Return, I'm glad he came back. I'm glad they made the movie. I'm glad it's on my collection. And yeah, it'll stay on the shelf. Alright guys, that is it for Isaac 666.